Chapter 307, I'm Not a Coward 1. Zhu Tui and the other three did not hesitate to display their offensive stances. This caused the expressions of Karamov and the other two to change drastically. They instantly assumed a defensive stance. Karamov did not expect the young man in front of him to be so decisive. If he did not retreat, he would become an enemy. He had toe tack. Under the current circumstances, Karamov knew very well that there was no point in fighting Zhu Tui and the others. Just now, he did not attack or leave. He only wanted to show that he was on their side. Then, he would try to work with Zhu Tui and the others to obtain the right to lead the cooperation. After all, it was impossible to take down the mutated fire ape hidden in the cave without a few deaths. However, Karamov did not expect Zhu Tui to be so decisive. We shouldn't be enemies. Actually, you can consider a cooperative relationship. There are 3 mutated fire apes inside. It's enough for us to share, Karamov said in Huaxia language, trying to do his best. We don't like working with strangers. The flying sword hovered above Zhu Tui's head. It was filled with killing intent. You can either attack or leave. Please stay away, Zhu Tui shouted. Attack? That was impossible for Karamov. They had already lost a teammate. The cave was relatively narrow. Anyone who rushed in would be burned on the spot if the 3 mutated fire apes attacked together with their superpowers. It was impossible for them to attack before they thought of a suitable solution. After some thought, Karamov raised his weapon with both hands. Since you are unwilling to cooperate, we will leave. If you can't take it down, you can consider working with us tomorrow. We'll talk about tomorrow. Zhu Tui did not comment. Let's go. Karamov gave a soft shout as he and his 2 other teammates began to evacuate from the cave below. At this moment, they were about 50 meters away from Zhu Tui's group. However, they had to pass by Zhu Tui and the others while they were evacuating the valley. The widest part of the valley was about 50 meters. The narrowest part was only 20 meters. The spot where Zhu Tui and the others were standing happened to be the narrowest spot. They were getting closer and closer to Zhu Tui and the others. Karamov and the other man were obviously from the extreme branch. The other man had a weapon in his right hand and a large alloy shield in his left. He protected the woman who might be of the supernatural branch in the shield and slowly moved her away. Karamov and the other 2 moved along the opposite wall. As Zhu Tui and the others were positioned at the narrowest part of the valley, they were only 15 to 16 meters away from Zhu Tui and the others. This would be an extremely dangerous distance. Therefore, the 3 of them were extremely careful. Zhu Tui's flying sword and silver pill continued to hover in the air. Karamov was on high alert. The 3 of them stared intently at Zhu Tui's actions. If Zhu Tui dared to do anything, they would definitely retaliate immediately. They were getting closer and closer to the narrowest point. They were only 3 to 4 meters away. They were almost 20 meters away from Zhu Tui and the others. Karamov and the other 2 looked extremely nervous. It was also at this moment that Zhu Tui's gaze suddenly locked onto the sky above Karamov and the other 2. Karamov and his companion with the large shield had not realized what that meant. The expression of the supernatural-type woman suddenly changed drastically. She seemed to have sensed something. The moment she raised her head and looked up, she wanted to dodge something. Bang! The sound of something heavy hitting a human body rang out. The fair and tall supernatural-type woman seemed to have been smashed by something. Suddenly, her entire body seemed to have been flattened to the ground. Her chest caved in and blood gushed out of her mouth. Kill! Zhu Tui shouted as he activated time distortion. He had to eliminate the hidden dangers in time. Since Karamov had already decided to join forces with Kim Song and the others to destroy them, there was no need for Zhu Tui to hold back. The moment Karamov realized that something had happened, the mental whip struck his head first. Karamov's body shook violently. He trembled in pain and swayed. Before Karamov could react, there was a flash of blood. A silver light pierced through his forehead and flew out the back of his head. The shield-wielding man roared in anger and fear. At the same time, Cheng Mo also rushed forward with an arm shield. The machete in his hand was his weapon. The attack was very simple. It was a very simple and direct weapon killing technique practiced in school. There were not many variations. It was just the basic attack of the saber. Slash, cut, chop, stab. It was very direct. Zudu's flying sword circled around alone. He had wanted to kill the shield-wielding man with one strike, but he slowed down when the flying sword slashed down. He would give Chang Mo a chance to grow. However, Chang Mo was clearly no match for this shield-wielding man. This shield-wielding man should be a genetic mutant. He crushed Chang Mo in terms of physical fitness. He swung his shield horizontally and blocked the attack. The energy field erupted and sent Chang Mo flying. At this moment, Zuo Qingqing and Gong Ling's attacks finally arrived. A large number of grass stems grew crazily and entangled the shield-wielding man's leg. The shield-wielding man, who was moving quickly, fell on the spot. Zuo Qingqing's lightning bolts struck out one after another. Every bolt of lightning exploded on the man's body, causing him to tremble.